You know, like
Oh. Today I'm here with John Lee. What's up, John?
What's up?
Thank you for making your time today.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me about the car. What year is your M3?
It's a 1998.
98.
Yeah.
Okay, E36. It is an M3 chassis, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Why did you choose to go with the E36?
It's a pretty funny story. My friend in Boston, he had this white E36, just like this, 345, M3, 4 doors, 5-speed. He's like, just drive it, just drive it. I was like, no, I don't need to drive it. And I drove it, and then a week later, I came back here, and then I bought this.
What other cars did you have?
Well, I started out with Integra. I had a 94 LS, and then the motor blew up. That's the first time I didn't build that motor, but I had a built motor in there. I think I was running 11.41 compression, GSR bottom end, and then it had a Type R head on it. I went to my first track day, and the motor blew up, and then I haven't tracked since I came to California.
What year was that?
I don't know, it's like 25 years ago.
You first started with the Integra and then blew the motor, you got tired of it, and then you got back into it, driving an E36, your friend's E36, and then you fell in love with it.
I didn't get tired of it. I ran out of money.
Like everybody,
This is an expensive hobby, man.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's walk around and show the car. You can start wherever you want, but I mean, it's hard to miss this giant splitter. How do you pronounce that? Zebulon?
I've been just pronouncing it Zebulon.
Zebulon?
Yeah.
Okay. How big is this splitter?
I don't know. I haven't really measured it, but maybe like 6 or 7 inches.
Okay. All carbon fiber.
Yeah, and actually this has been repaired because I hit Bailey's car with my splitter, but it came back brand new looking. I mean, it's more than I want to spend for aero, but aero's not cheap, but at least it's repairable.
What did you have to do? You had to send the splitter back to Zebulon and then they fixed it for you?
Yeah, this part right here was split.
Oh.
This whole carbon fiber thing was like sticking up probably like 2 inches.
Okay. So they repaired it and then sent it back to you.
Yeah, and during that time I had the tunnels put in.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
nice.
might as well, right?
Yeah. Let's start with the chassis. What kind of suspension, what kind of brakes, what kind of tires?
Well, I'm on MCS two-way remotes now. I'm on stock M3 brakes.
Stock M3 brakes, really?
Yeah.
Wow. E36 M3
Yeah.
brakes? Oh. That's good enough, huh?
These days I want to upgrade just because I guess my top speeds are higher because I just did that swap a few months ago. I feel it now. Before I didn't really think it was an issue.
Okay, and what about the tires? What are the specs on the wheels?
I'm running 17 by 10.
Okay.
And I'm running 255 4017 RE71 RS.
Okay.
But I used to run the AO52, and I like both tires. I can't say one is better than the other. I do want to try the 275 CRS though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are 255. Is it a square setup?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the arms and sway bar and all that?
I'm running ground control sway bars. The only reason I went to that is because the Zebulon splitter doesn't have clearance for it. So I either would have to cut a hole or go with like, I think it was a 328 SI front sway bar. Ground control it doesn't hang as low. So,
Okay.
and I didn't know about that stuff. Luckily, EAS is local here, and Steve's car, I kind of copy Steve's car. So he ran into that problem already. So I knew what the solution was. So that worked out great.
Do we mention the brake pads?
I'm running Endless right now. But I switch on and off between Endless and CSG pads.
Yeah.
Both are sponsors for Beamer Challenge, so you get help where you can get it, and you get a discount for them. So and they're also great pads. I can't really compare them with what I ran before. My pads last all year, and I do like 12 to 15 events a year.
What kind of endless do you remember?
This one is N35S. But before that, I used the N05U. They're very similar compounds.
And what about the rear setup? Is it all like OEM arms as far as
Yeah, all
lower
my
control arm, everything?
Yeah, all that stuff is OEM because I've broken stuff. You know my car from before, I like multicolored fenders and stuff. It's
Yeah.
because like a ball joint from a roll center kit would break, or like a bump steer kit arm would break. And the wheel, when that stuff breaks, it just pushes into the fender. So I'm just back on OEM stuff now. And I just try to change it out at least every 5 years. I'm trying to do it every other year.
Obviously, you have a giant wing in the back too. Is this a kit?
Well, they have multiple options. So I picked the trunk mount kit. There's also a fender mount kit that mounts right here.
Got it.
And I actually regret not getting that because if I want to get lightweight body parts, I can't really put this trunk mount kit on a like a carbon fiber trunk unless it's made for it.
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, I mean, you pick. There's only like 1 or 2 options at the time when I ordered it. It was this or like their smaller like GLTC like rules wing, and then the M plates. There were multiple options. I just picked this one because I thought it looked cool. It's got 3D design on it, so it's better obviously. But like the reason I bought it was I thought it looked cool.
It does look cool. The mirrors.
I got those from Pegasus Racing. I forgot what brand it is, but I didn't know they were this small. I can't see anything else.
Did you have to make this, or is this
No,
part
actually,
of the kit?
Charbel.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
So he made those for me.
You have the sunroof
Yeah.
block. Who makes this kit?
This is from S2R Tuning.
Okay.
He's out of Burbank, or he was out of Burbank. This thing is like, I think it's like close to 10 years old. So, I mean, he made quality stuff.
Yeah, still shining. And looks like everything is poly too, right? The glasses?
Everything except the front windshield is
Windshield,
poly.
okay.
Yeah.
Is this like 2mm, 3mm?
No, it's the stock one. I think it's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
4.
So it's supposed to fit in the stock rubber surrounds. On the front, there's nothing on there because I remove them now when I go to
Gotcha.
the track.
Can you roll the windows up and down still, or no?
No, and if
Okay.
you do, they get scratched up like crazy. So,
Okay.
I mean, the swirls in here are just from trying to clean it from time to time.
Right. How long have you owned these set?
I don't know. Maybe it's over 5 years.
Okay. It's not bad for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have access to the door? Does it
Everything?
open?
Yeah. All the
Oh,
doors
nice.
still open. Yeah. I still got my track stuff in here, but
Okay. Nice. It's a really nice cage too, but we'll come back to it.
yeah. Make sure my. All right. I'm
Oh,
gonna turn
yeah.
my transponder.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you know the weight of the car?
Yeah. Right now, last time I weighed it, it's gotten a little heavier since then, but it's right around 2650 with like a third tank of gas.
2600.
Well, 2650.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now maybe 27.
Probably not that much. I'm talking about little stuff like I used to have a straight pipe. Now I'm running a muffler.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
gotcha.
just too loud.
Right now is it is it quieter than before?
What you heard today, that's as quiet as it's gonna get. Was it loud?
Pretty cool duct. All right. This swap is fairly recent, right?
It is. I've only done, I think, 3 events on it since.
Okay. What made you want to go with the S54?
My S52 was getting a lot more blow by, and I was like, should I rebuild this motor, or is this the time to upgrade to the S54? So I just decided to just upgrade.
Okay. Is this a stock engine?
It's refreshed, but everything is stock. I don't even have a tune yet.
Oh, really? Okay. Running stock ECU?
Yes.
E36 ECU? How much, I guess you don't know how much power it makes. It's just
Not yet.
stock.
Yeah,
for
but
now.
I mean, it's 333 from the factory. I mean, the only, I guess, mod I have is I have headers, Megan headers,
Okay.
which is, I think, their Euro copy.
Oh.
And then I don't know if that's an upgrade, but I have a filter. It's because nothing else fits in here except the Z3M with the S54. And that thing is like $1,000. So
What kind of lap time did you do with the S52?
I think my fastest was 54.0.
And what about now?
Recently I did a 51.2.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And that's a button willow.
Yeah. Do you have a goal, a target time?
Well, you have the sub 150 stickers, so I'm trying to get one of those stickers.
All right. So nice. Simple, clean.
Yeah, I try to hide as much of the wires as I could. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people try to run it into the stock DME location.
Uh-huh.
But I made everything fit through. There was like this rectangle hole.
Oh,
And
okay.
I just routed it there. My DME's basically mounted to my steering column using like roll bar mounts.
I see.
And I'm most proud of this right here. Right here was there used to be this huge stock fuse box.
Oh, yeah.
But in the future, I plan on getting the rest of my cage done. And I wanted those intrusion bars that go to the shock towers.
Okay.
So when I was rewiring this, that was the best time to do it. So I just ripped everything out.
Got it. So you're just kind of preparing
Yeah.
bars to go this way. Wow, it looks really clean that way. What about cooling system?
I mean, it's stock. I mean, I have a CSF radiator, and this is for the E36. So it's not even I think a lot of people get the Z3M because it's 3-core. This is not even 3-core. It's just dual core, but I have zero cooling problems, even with the S54.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever even hit 200. It's just around like 190.
Okay. What about your oil cooler?
My oil cooler is a set trap off my old S2000. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but very simple setup, right? I mean, it looks simple now. I'm sure it was complicated when you were putting it together.
And that was the goal. I don't want to run into any issues. So if I didn't need it, I just pulled it out. And actually, that fuse box had a ton of, I guess, like joins and stuff.
Yeah.
And I took all of that out, and I just have like 2 fuse panel things, like where my airbag used to be.
Is that a cup holder?
It is, because I used to drive to the track.
Yeah.
So that thing's bolted down. That thing is sturdy.
It's pretty neat. What is that on the bottom of the seat bracket? Just spacing it up?
That's, yeah, I guess, yeah, normally, before I got those seat mounts,
Yeah.
they usually don't come like that.
Right.
So you usually have to have what they call the floor mounts. And so I had the floor mounts already, and then I was sitting so low already that I just used it to space it up.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it also gives me a little bit more flexibility because I try to get my seat as close to the tunnel as I can.
I see.
If you don't do that, the steering wheel is not centered for you.
Oh.
And it's still not completely centered. I would have to go closer, but I really can't now.
Got it. Got a bright seat?
Yes. Or as they call brid over there, right?
Brid or bride.
Yeah.
I'm a husband myself, but what's this? What's this over here?
Oh, yeah, I haven't removed it yet, but stuff that I needed to do while I was wiring,
Okay.
it was just like my list.
It's your whiteboard.
And that's, I don't know if I'll be able to show that later, but where my fuses are, I did this before I labeled my fuse panel stuff.
Gotcha.
But that doesn't need to be there. I can remove that now.
It's all steel door. Of course, CAE shifter, huh?
Yeah, that thing is, it's expensive, but it's worth it.
That's what I hear from everybody.
Yeah.
Have you tried like other off-brand shifters?
No, I try to buy name brand stuff just because the replica stuff it's never been as good.
Right.
And also, I want to reward those that are doing the engineering, not just copying.
Yes, yes. Okay. Looks like you got some heat coming from your transmission, or is that where the exhaust goes?
No, the tunnel does get pretty hot, but since I only drive it at the track now, it's not an issue. But I'm not gonna rip it out. So
This looks pretty nice too. The dead pedal.
oh yeah, and that's all from Charbel too.
Oh, okay. He
Yeah,
makes
those
really...
are Charbel's mounts, his floor pan.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to try to support local business.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about the carbon pieces? Is that off the shelf or?
So I have like small panels here and there,
Yeah.
and the little sticker there, Epsilon Aero. So they're next door to Concept 3,
Okay.
and yeah, they make carbon fiber everything. And so either they made me some stuff, or they just gave me some scrap. Said, hey, you can just use this. So I would just cut it up and use it where I could.
Gotcha. Is the centerpiece AJ Hartman?
Yes.
Okay.
There's 3 holes there because I used to use autometer gauges.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I was having problems grounding stuff, so now I'm on AIM sensors, and then I just read everything through that Solo DL.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you can do that on the Solos too. Is it all CAN communication?
It is. So a couple months ago, they came out with this thing called like an analog CAN converter.
Okay.
ACC, I think is what they called it. It's just a little box, and it's already pre-wired with like 4 leads.
Okay.
And that plugs, that's what that other connector is, the one that's closer to the center.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you plug all the sensors to that unit, and then from that unit to here is CAN.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. And can we see the back as well? Got a nice Weldon cage.
Yeah, I probably should have cleaned it so I could do them justice. But yeah, this cage was done by Proto Machine when Riley and Mike Burrows from Stanceworks were working together.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think they got this cage out in like 10 days or something. It was something ridiculous. Everything's tigged. He made those little silver caps to hide the bolts.
That's
Those
kinda
used to
neat.
be perfect looking, but I used to load a bunch of stuff everywhere. And at the end of the day, it's a track car, so
Yeah. To the guys that may not be familiar with the M3 chassis, they like to reinforce the subframe where this bolts to the subframe, because this chassis is so stiff that it likes to crack, right? The E36, E46 chassis.
yeah, I heard the subframe like rips out.
Yeah.
And so, from what I understand, and I didn't really read all these rules, but that's why I took it to a shop that actually knows like the rule books. And they were even telling me, it's like, yeah, well, you're gonna take points for it if you join like NASA, but people usually take the points because if you don't, you're gonna get tear out at some point.
Yeah. Looks like this is all reinforced as well. Is
Yeah.
your front reinforced as well?
No, I haven't done anything
Okay.
like from here forward.
These doors are pretty heavy.
I don't know.
Even with the panels out.
Maybe it just needs to be lubricated too. Who knows?
Oh, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess the point I was trying to make is how much heavier is a 4-door compared to a 2-door?
I don't know actually.
Okay.
Yeah, couldn't be much. I know that it's supposed to be a little higher, which is odd because the chassis code is the same. Before I bought it, I was looking at the coupe or the sedan, and yeah, it was odd. It said like the sedan was a little higher.
Like overall, or
Like the height, like the roof height is higher.
Really?
Yeah, which to this day I don't really see it, but that's what I read.
Okay.
You think these are race mods, but my key stopped opening my trunk. So ever since I've had this, when stuff breaks, I just either upgrade to like a race part, or I just remove it. Yeah. Oh, there's nothing in here really.
I'm surprised you didn't change the battery or to like a lithium.
No, that's the lightweight Miata battery.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's not lightweight. It's just an AGM battery,
yeah.
so it's pretty heavy still.
Probably good 20 pounds there.
Yeah, but I mean, this car is pretty front heavy. I mean, from the factory, it's like pretty
Right.
close, but once you start removing stuff, the front gets much heavier than the rear, so I wasn't really too worried about that.
Gotcha. Battery kill. What's the amp for? The fuse for?
Oh, the fuse is for my accessories. I hardwire my GoPro,
Oh,
and then I also have a dash cam that I don't really need anymore, but it was on there too.
Cool. Oh, this trunk is holding up pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have those, my wing will hit my car when it opens all the way. I noticed I removed my shocks, so I guess I removed those for
Oh yeah.
weight reduction, I guess.
Did you notice anything different when you went from single adjustable to two-way adjustable MCS?
Well, before this, I had KW Club Sports, which were also two-way, but I ran them for like 7 years without a rebuild. I can't really compare them. It's not a fair comparison because these were brand new, and then I was actually progressing as a driver with the KW, so it got me to where I was. But when I got these, I went noticeably faster, but that's also because the shocks are brand new.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what are the spring rates on it currently?
I'm running 12K, 16K.
What is this over here? Is that charcoal canister?
Yeah, this is for
Okay.
California emissions.
Wow.
And I haven't removed all my wiring yet, so that's why this is here. But I don't need this anymore.
And what about the exhaust?
It's just a Bimmer World race exhaust.
Okay.
That thing's, I've had that on this car for like 10 years. That thing's a trooper. It still sounds good, I think. Has like a, I don't know, kind of like an O type of sound. Like, it's deep, and it's not like, it's more like O instead of like blah. So I don't know, I like that sound.
what's the O sound?
I don't know. Like oh. But it's more focused sounding than like
Alright.
just spread out. So I like the sound of it.
What did your B20 or B16 sound like?
I had a B18.
Or B18?
Yeah,
The LSV tech sound like?
that thing sounded like every Honda out there.
If you guys know what that O sound, leave a comment below. It's a really good looking car. What about the over fenders? Is that for M3?
Those are hard motorsports over fenders. I mean, they've been selling them for a while. So
Okay.
unfortunately for the sedan, they only sell the like V1. So for the coupe, they sell the V2, which gives you, they're wider. So
What is your favorite part of this car?
I don't know, it's pretty balanced, I think. When I went from the S52 to the S54, it was just like the same car, except it was just faster. So
Right.
I adapted pretty quickly, I think.
Because from what I know, S52s and S54s, they make similar torque. It's just that S54 revs higher, right?
Yeah, but this one, in the lower RPM, it feels noticeably slower. It feels like it has less torque.
If you have to do it again, would you do it?
S54?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every time.
You also had a S2000, right?
I did,
Okay.
yes.
You just sold it?
I sold it around COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's when the used car prices were going up like crazy. And it was just a spare car for me. I wasn't really driving it too much anymore. So I figured if I'm going to get money for it, I might as well sell it now. So I just sold it. I kind of miss it though. I think it drives like an S2000.
That was my question. S2000 versus E36.
Yeah, so luckily I was able to drive them on the same day. Like my friends used to drive that up or they drive this up, and then we would just switch back and forth. This one was more modded. I'm always trying to get like how it handles to feel more like an S2000. And I think when you take more weight off, it just helps. It starts to feel more like an S2000, but I don't think any car feels like that. At least not that I've driven.
So is it S2000 over E36 for you?
I mean, I'm not a pro. I mean, I don't even know if it's considered amateur. I'm just a hobbyist. So this car is much easier to drive faster, and it just feels safer as you're driving. And it's the car lets you know if something's going to happen, so you have time to react. So at least I have more time than an S2000 would give you if the rear is going to come out or something.
If you can pick one, understeer versus oversteer.
I'd pick oversteer every time.
E36 versus E46.
I feel like I have the best of both worlds. I have less weight and the same motor.
What do you want to do next to the car?
I don't really want to spend any more money on the car, but if I had to do something, I think my next mod on this car is to finish up the cage.
Any shout outs?
V from Kuruzu Auto, thank you to Concept 3. You know, in the community, everyone just helped. Like even Zebulon, I talk to them probably more regularly than he wants to talk to me, but of course, Charbel's been helping out. Yeah, it's actually too many to name. EAS, Steve, for sure.
Any final thing you want to say?
You know, just enjoy your car.
I do have to ask you. Wow, that's a really clean R32 GTR.
Oh, that's Will.
What 5 things, or let's do 3 to 5 things would you do on E36 for the guys that are starting out?
Since they're old now, the first thing is to do all the bushings. I wouldn't be afraid of going poly, the 75D poly, which is the same hardness as a bowling ball, I think is what they say. It's not like a Honda. It doesn't vibrate like a Honda. I guess the motor is more balanced. I think that is the biggest difference. Your suspension is probably going to be old. Basically, just replace everything. Everything's been replaced on this car.
Just buy a new car.
Let's see, bushings, suspension, shifter, refresh. So one more item. Don't buy a bolt-in cage. Like this was I went through multiple bolt-in cages, and I'm not saying they're bad, but it's a night and day difference between those bolt-ins and this bar. And I think it's also because most of the bolt-ins bolt into the floor. This one, I don't know if you caught it earlier, but it's welded onto a plinth box on the side rails, or what do you call this, the side pillar or something. But it's super solid, and it was a noticeable difference the first time I went out on track.
All right, well, thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks.